also known as Story Break over on Instagram. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my shipping and what sold while I was on vacation. The sentence may sound confusing, but I do not put my closet on vacation mode when I go on trips. I want to make more of an in-depth video on that because a lot of people don't understand how that works. I've posted about it on my Instagram before, but I still had a lot of people asking questions about it anyways. If you want me to make a video on how I leave my closet for sale and still make sales while I'm on my vacations, then leave me a comment down below so I can know and make that video for you guys. You guys may have noticed that on Monday I did not upload a video. That's because I was in Florida visiting my sister. You guys know that I'm moving to Florida. My sister lives in a house that we're moving to, and my older brother moved there with her so that he could help get the house ready for us. We decided to go visit them this week so that we could bring my brother Eddie home for Thanksgiving. And while I was gone, I made lots of sales that I'm super excited about. So I thought I'd make like a really chill video, just packing the things up with you guys, showing you guys what I sold, how much it sold for, and how I package up my packages, because I get a lot of questions about that too. So I wanted to show you guys all of that today. So the first thing that sold while I was on vacation, I do not have with me right now because I actually brought it with me on the trip so that I could ship it then. It was a gorgeous red trench coat from Coach. It was one of my favorite things in my closet. I did buy it for myself, but it was just a little bit too fancy. I didn't really use it very much, and I felt bad that I didn't use it because it was so gorgeous, and I felt like I was like hoarding it, you know, it was going to waste by keeping it. I listed it on Poshmark for I think $149 and it ended up selling for $110 by best offer, so I didn't end up having a shipping discount on that. After Poshmark's fee of $22, I was left with $88 profit. Now I don't share what I pay for my items. The next thing I sold while I was on my trip was this plaid pullover from Cloth & Stone. I did show this in a haul a few videos back, so you might recognize it from that, but it was just a super cute basic plaid pullover. It has a huge pocket on the front, the lace up in the back, which I'm obsessed with the lacing down the back. This top sold for $23, again best offer, so I did not have to offer discounted shipping. After Poshmark's fee, I was left with $18.40. So again, that's before what I paid for it, but that's what I was left with after Poshmark's cut. The first thing I do when I package up my sales, of course, is taking the item out of its plastic bag and neatly folding it up so that it'll fit into the package. Once I have the item all folded up, I'll wrap it up in tissue paper, either 1 or 2 sheets depending on the size of the item. Next, I tape the tissue paper together using some super fun washi tape. I feel like it's super festive and cute for the holidays. I also pop a little business card as a thank you note in there. For most of my packages, I will use a poly mailer. My favorites are from Shipping Hip. And then I peel off this sticky backing and I'll seal the package shut. To make sure that I don't get the packages confused with each other, I'll write the username of the person who purchased the package on the outside. The next thing that sold was a top from Ann Taylor. It's super thick and the material is really nice. Its short sleeves is kind of this like eyelet lace detail on top of the sleeve, which I think is super cute. It has an exposed zipper going down the back, and I thought this piece was super adorable. This one was an offers to likers. It sold for $19 minus $150 for a shipping discount that I sent out. So after Poshmark's fee and the shipping discount that I sent out, I was left with $13.70. The next thing that sold is I think another thing from one of my most recent hauls. It was this J. Jill puffer vest. It was the one that's super huge, but it's marked as a size small, so I don't know what happened there. If this thing were my size, I would totally keep it because it is so plush and really nice and comfortable. This one sold for a best offer of $24, which after Poshmark's $4.80 fee that they took from this item, I was left with $19.20. The next thing that sold I'm in love with. This is one of my favorite things that I've sold recently. It is this Love Crossbody by Rebecca Minkoff. Look at how gorgeous that quilting is, and the leather work is just so beautiful. I got this at a consignment store for a steal. I don't think that they knew what Rebecca Minkoff was because they had marked this down really low. The only flaw that it really had, if you can see that, is the hardware did have a little bit of scratching on it and it was missing the chain. So I listed it as the crossbody, but I said that it would be used more as a clutch unless you had the chain. Even though it didn't have the chain and it did have that flaw in it, it still sold for $60. I had sent out a private offer of I think $70 and free shipping, and they had counter offered at $60, which I gladly accepted. I was left with $48 after Poshmark's fee of $12. And I mean, like, look at the lining on the inside. It's so beautiful. The next thing that sold was actually something from J. Jill, which I don't sell too much of, but I do enjoy selling it when I find something that I think is worth it. It was this loose knit sweater tank set, and it's actually new with tags on both pieces. It has this really beautiful kind of sheer loose wave leaf knit almost. I've been holding on to it for a long time, so I decided to let it go for a little bit less than I had originally hoped. It sold for a best offer of $25. After Poshmark's $5 fee, I was left with $20, which I think is pretty decent still. The next thing that sold is a men's Patagonia half zip jacket, which I loved. I love selling men's Patagonia stuff, but I rarely ever find it. My dad actually found this one at a thrift store and he was so proud of it because he knows that I like to sell Patagonia, so he was really excited for me to sell this one for him. It's kind of like a rusty burnt orange with a higher mock turtleneck. It zips about halfway down. I did have to mark it a little bit lower because the thread on the sleeve was pilling up a bit. He didn't really notice that much when he was in the thrift store, which is okay. So because of that flaw, I did have to list it a little bit lower than we were planning. It ended up selling as an offers to liker sale for $17 minus $150 on the shipping. So after Poshmark's fee and the discounted shipping, I ended up with $12.10, which isn't too bad, but he's hoping to aim a little bit higher on his next thrift store find for me. Up next is a pair of heels, which I rarely ever sell shoes, so I was super excited to have these sell. They are leather heels that are embossed to look like snake skin. They're so beautiful. They're by Charles David, which I've never sold before. I think that the pointed heel is super classic and beautiful. Here's what the label looks like. I'm not sure if I included these in one of my more recent thrift hauls, but they're Charles David. I had actually sold these about a month ago, but the girl had asked me to cancel. They originally sold for $25, but yesterday while I was on the road, they ended up selling for $29 full asking price, which I was very happy with. After Poshmark's fee, I was left with $23.20, which I was pretty happy with. The last time that I sold these, I ended up giving out a shipping discount as well, so I ended up profiting a bit more on these than I did the original time I sold them. And the last thing that sold is something I'm sure you guys are going to recognize because it was in some of my more recent videos. It is my Posh Fasten dress. It is a super soft, almost t-shirt material, asymmetrical swing dress from Maeve by Anthropologie. It has pockets and it's insanely comfortable. So I did wear it to the first day of Posh Fest. I had originally bought it with the intention of selling it anyways, so I was very happy to have this sell. It ended up selling for a best offer price of $25, which after Poshmark's $5 fee on that one, I was left with 20 bucks. That's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I package up my packages and what sold while I was on vacation. Be sure to leave me a comment down below asking for what kinds of videos you guys want to see next from me, or if you guys want me to make that video on how I make sales while I'm on vacation. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it so much. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!